Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a huge what I've been using the past couple weeks makeup video. I'm going to start with lips this time. I always usually leave these to the end, but I see a bunch of them on top in this video, so let's go ahead and jump on into those first. And I'm sure I'll find some at the bottom of my bag too, so we'll jump back if I find any more along the way. I like to use different lip products every day, something to match my look preferably, so I try to switch it up a lot, and so that's where all these lips come from. So where do I start? Let's start with a lip liner. I have this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in the shade 1993. It is a brown pencil, as you can see here. It's really nice for darker lips. It's that brown color right there. I really like this in the fall and winter when I'm wearing those deep chocolate lips. It is really nice. Then I have this Buxom full-on lip polish. This is in the shade Sugar, and it is a darker, kind of bronzy mauve shade. When you put it on, it is pretty sheer, but it does have some pigment to it. So you can see right here, I put it beside the lip liner. You can see there's a little bit of a tint, like a bronzy tint, but most of all, it's just a nice shimmer on the lips. Really pretty, really natural. I love those products from Buxom. I also went back to using this Signature Soft Matte Lip Color in the shade Umio from Fiona Styles. Now, her brand is no longer sold at Ulta. I did get this when it was going on sale. The whole brand was going on sale at Ulta, and it is a nice nude right there. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a mix between a peach and a pinky nude, I guess you'd say. You'll see a lot of nudes in my weekly lip colors because nude lips are what I gravitate towards, but also because I work in a school and I can't go too crazy because, you know, have to be a normal. Then I have this, I don't even know what this is called. It's from Bite Beauty. It's the Amuse Bouche Liquefied Lip in Demi Glacé. This does not dry down matte. It is right down here. It's very deep, dark. I did not wear this to work. It's kind of a burgundy brown shade, I would say, but it is really pretty. Like I said, it does not dry down matte. It is a true liquid lip, but I love that formula. I recently mentioned in my weekly makeup bag that I had this Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in Stepping Out, and it was kind of dried up. I am going to pass on this because I did get the holiday set, and in the holiday set they do have the shade Stepping Out, which is right here. These are little minis, and my full size just dried out, so I was pretty bummed about that. But here is the miniature one, and the texture on it was so much nicer. It's right here. I love this shade. It's nude enough, but it's a little bit deeper for the fall and winter months. This is also from Smashbox, and this is in Babe Alert. This came in that same set. I really, really like that color as well. It's like a coral. I don't know what happened to the swatch there, but just ignore that. The color is so pretty on that, and those lips are so comfortable. I love that formula. Another holiday lip is this one from Jeffree Star in Can't Relate. That is over here. It's a true, like, nude. I love that shade as well. And again, the formula on these is really, really nice. I had one from last year's holiday set. This is in Human Nature. This is, again, another deep, dark color. And honestly, beside that Bite Beauty one, it almost looks like the same color. So this dries down matte. This one does not, but those were two darker lips that I was loving recently. And then I have another one from the recent holiday collection. This is Karma, and I really like this color because it is green with brown and yellow in it, and I loved the way it looked on my lips. It was just so pretty and so different, so I really enjoyed that one. I have another Jeffree Star one. This is in the shade Leo. Just a really pretty, nice brown, deeper brown for the fall. And I wore this with that lip liner in 1993. You can see like how they would go really nicely together. So that's pretty much what my lips have been looking like. There's a lot of brown, a lot of nudes, but like I said, I'm in a school, so kind of makes sense, but that's what I've been loving. Then I have this Cover FX Shimmer Veil in Celestial. I got the 3 set, and I have a few things to say about this. So one is I thought it would be more like the Stila Glitter and Glows, but it is, I don't know. It's very shimmery, very pretty right there, you can see, but I found when I was putting it on my lid, I would put it on and then I would try to make it darker and it would wipe away what was already put on. So I kind of had to let a layer dry and then go back and take it off. No, go back and layer it up so it wouldn't take it off. And it's nice, but I don't think I would ever purchase a full size just on its own. I have the pack of 3, which then came with these 2 in Moonstone and Soleil. So I think that this is a nice little set, but I'm glad I got the set and I didn't buy the full size because I didn't love those. But that was my first purchase from Cover FX. I've tried some samples, but I've never owned anything from them. I was also using this Naked Skin Weightless Concealer from Urban Decay in the shade Fair Neutral. It is really pretty. I like it, but it's a lot more natural, sheer. Doesn't totally cover my dark circles a whole lot. Today I have on Shape Tape and, you know, it's nice. Everybody loves it. But the concealer I'm really loving is the Born This Way concealer. I think it's just so pretty and it does a nice job of covering everything for me. So I decided to take a break from that, try another concealer, and the Naked Skin was nice, but it's not one I'm loving. Then I have the Milani Bella Ivory Satin Matte eyeshadow. This is a single that you can purchase at the stores. I just like this to put down a nice base before I put on other eyeshadows. I like this under the brow as well. It adds a nice highlight right under the brow. So if I don't have something in a palette, like I was using the Naked Heat, and it does have one of these, but if I really want to try to use palettes that have more color and they don't have a nice light shade, I'll go ahead and pull this one out. And I love it. I've definitely put a big dent in this. I know you can't see it. There's a lot of shadow here, but it is really pretty. And there's a slight bit of shimmer. It is a satin matte. It's not completely matte. I also was using this Laura Geller blush in Mauve Mocha Latte. It's what I have on my cheeks today. It's not really dark. I don't really build it up a whole lot, but I think it is really pretty. It's just a nice mauve, natural looking blush. This came in a set that I purchased off the Haute Look, and it is really pretty. It's nice for the fall. It's nice for everyday wear, and I just really love this. Her formula is so nice, and I would repurchase more blushes from her line. Another face product was the CoverGirl Clean Pressed Powder in Creamy Natural. I took a little break from this because I had a couple powders from CoverGirl that I wanted to try recently. This one is really nice, but I know how it wears because this is the one I always used to purchase when I was growing up until I switched to cruelty-free makeup, and then now the CoverGirl is cruelty-free. I've gone back to it. It does have a scent. It's like if you've ever used Noxzema, that's what I compare this to. It's what I've always compared that to. It smells like that to me. So if you don't like strong fragrance in your powders, then you probably won't like this. You want to skip on that one, but I do like it. It's just that I've been trying so many different CoverGirl products since they've gone cruelty-free. I had to put that off since I already know what it's like anyways. I purchased this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Platinum Bar recently in Winter Bloom. It is like a white with a goldish, greenish shift to it. It is really pretty. I have the original Gold Bar highlighter that they put out a couple years ago, and so I wanted to get another one. This was the one that I thought I would get the most use out of, so I picked it up, and I really enjoy it. And it also has a mirror here on the side. I don't really use it that much, but okay, I can't get it to open, but it is there if you need one. And I think I mentioned this in a recent haul, but anyways, let's get beyond the fact of the drama here. This is Skin Frost from Jeffree Star in Eclipse. This was the Manio and Muet collab with him. It is very pretty. I love this shade. If you haven't seen it, I will swatch it here. I actually should swatch the blush and the other highlight that I showed you. So let me go back to that in a minute. So it's right here. I don't know if you can tell or not. It's hard for me to do swatches because my lights aren't that great, but it is right here. And I think it's really pretty. Let me go back to the Wet n Wild one. I'll put it up next to the lips. It's the one that's right, okay. It's the one that's right here. I don't know if you can tell. I need to take this makeup off so that I can swatch some more things, but that's what I have. I thought it was really pretty too. And then let me swatch the blush, and then I'll take off these swatches so I can show you some future items. Where should I put it? I'm going to put it up here. It's right here, if you can tell. It's very natural. You really do have to build it up if you like a more pigmented blush, but I really do like the quality of all of those powder products. So let me take a break, wipe these swatches off, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I washed off all the swatches. I don't know if I need any more swatching to do. Whatever, put that in a sentence that makes sense. This is the Revolution Highlighter Palette in Beyond Radiance. I don't know if you've been with me recently, but I've been using these as the Hourglass ambient lighting powders all over my face just to set the face and add a nice little bit of glow. I heard somebody talk about doing that, and I had palettes that I was incorporating, like the Hourglass ones, and using all over my skin, and then when I ran out of them, I was like, oh no, what am I going to use now? And then I heard somebody was using this, so I pulled this out and I used it in the same way, and I thought it was really, really pretty. So you can use this as highlighters, or you can use it all over the face. It is really pretty. It's a nice, natural enough shimmer where you can get away with using it all over the face, and it's not too stark and too crazy out there. I was also using this Sheer Sculpting palette in light medium from Fiona Styles. Again, her brand is no longer available at Ulta, but I have the products, so I'm going to use them, so you're going to see them in these videos. But this palette is really, really nice for light skin. I tend to mix these two here as they're the lighter ones. I don't want to go too deep. As you can see, I'm pretty fair in the wintertime, and when I'm not self-tanning, I'm a lot paler as well. So those two here I've been mixing together. I really like this. It's nice and natural. I feel like I don't screw up my contour when I use those. They always come out really nice, and I really, really love that. I was using my Tarte powder that I was trying to pan. I put this in a project pan. This is in the shade Medium Neutral. This is a Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation, and I didn't finish it, but I'm very close. So the reason that I stopped using this is because it's too deep for my skin tone right now. It does annoy me though, because if you look really close, you can see the rings all the way through the powder, and I'm like probably a week or two worth of using this away from finishing it. So if I do want to self-tan again during the winter months, I'll go back to that, but for right now I'm putting it off. I don't know whether I want to go over new products or products I've had. Let's go over products I've had. So this is the Shape Your Face Contouring Palette from Essence. This was out a while ago, and I heard a lot of mixed reviews on this. A lot of people didn't like it. Some people did. This I use under the eyes, and then I use to contour and a blush. I really like it. I think it's nice and natural. This is the kind of blush that I really go toward. Like I gravitate towards these kind of shades, like the coral, the light orange. It's just a nice little pop on the cheek without being too much. You could even use this as a bronzer. It's kind of warmer, so you could definitely get away with doing that if you wanted to. I also went back to using my Natural Eyes palette. This is a staple in my collection. I really love it. I thought about getting rid of it, but it still kind of hangs around. It was my first real high-end eyeshadow palette. Well, it was in my top 5 purchases, but I really like it. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I've not hit pan, but I've dented these shades here quite a bit. And I just really, really love this shadow, so I continue to hang on to it, even though it is older. I just can't seem to get rid of that. And then I have this Kat Von D Shade and Light Blush in Piaf and Po. I did get this at a Marshall's, I believe. After she had discontinued these, I picked it up, and I think it's really pretty. It is nice, matte blush. It's very, I don't know, I don't want to say it's natural. It's buildable for sure. I think that it's not a lot of pigment right away, but you can certainly build it up to be that, which is nice because that's how I like my blushes. I don't want a lot of pigment right away. I want to be able to build it up and make such a pretty color on my lids without going too far. And when I switched from using that powder that was a little bit darker, I also switched away from this. This is the Your Natural concealer stick from Wet n Wild. I've had this for a while and I've been using this during the summer because it matches my skin tone a lot better then. I use this on blemishes. I use either the Tarte Shape Tape or my Urban Decay or the Born This Way concealer under my eyes, and then I use that for blemishes, and I really do enjoy it. And then the Born This Way concealer I have right here. This is in the shade Vanilla. I think I could still get away with using this, but I wanted to just put it off to the side for right now, use some of the other concealers because I have loved this concealer and I'm pretty sure it's like down to here already. I have loved this, will continue to repurchase this, but I wanted to make sure I'm loving the other products or I'm getting rid of them if I don't. So that's where I've kind of hesitated on that one. Before I go into more lip products, because there are some here at the bottom, I want to go through a bunch of new products that I got. So, as you know, CoverGirl's now cruelty-free, so I picked up a lot of different things from their brand, including the Chocoholic Contour Palette, and I did do a haul on a lot of these products, so you've probably already seen them, but I was using this for a bronzer, and then these two were kind of darker for my skin tone, but I was using them and really loving them. It smells like chocolate. It's so amazing. I do really, really like this, but you have to have a light hand when using these colors because they are very pigmented. And another palette I picked up was the CoverGirl Super Stunner palette. This is a highlighting palette. It has a more natural highlight and then two more shimmery ones. This is like a champagne and this is more of a pinky toned. I really like all of these. I think they did a really nice job on this highlighter palette. I would continue to use this and recommend it to anybody who might be looking for some new CoverGirl products if you're like me and you just want to try some things because they're now cruelty-free. I have this quad, the Eye Enhancers in the shade Neutral Nudes, or Natural Nudes. It's one of those. It's abbreviated on the back. But this is a lot of cool tone nudes, and I thought that I could get a lot of use out of this just based on the fact that it's a nice base color, couple nice transition colors here, and then this is supposed to be your all over the lid shade. It has a little bit of glitters in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it was very subtle, I'll say that. So would I repurchase this? Probably not, but since I have it, I will get a lot of good use out of it, and I used this on the day that I used that Cover FX liquid, which I really like the way it came out. So this is nice for a base if you have a pop of shimmer on the lid. If you have one of the Stila glitter and glows, it might be nice to combine with that. I think you have to combine something more subtle like that with something super pigmented and bright. I got a CoverGirl Cheekers blush in the shade Soft Sable. This is one I think that I had before when I was using CoverGirl. It's a nice kind of rosy mauve-y nude shade. It is really pretty. I'll swatch it for you here. Again, I really like my natural shades, so that's it right there. I think it's super pretty. And then I do have one of the Instant Cheekbones. This is a contouring blush set in Soft Sable as well. So I went with the natural looks. So it has 3 colors, and they are very soft powders. And honestly, they're not swatching the best, but on the cheeks they look very, very pretty. And you have one that is more of a shimmer here on the end. So this was the Soft Sable by itself, and then here's the 3 powders. And I know you can't really see that last one, but it adds a nice little bit of shimmer on top of either one of these. So it is a really nice little bit of glitter topper almost. I love it, so I think those are a good purchase. I also picked up the Naked Petite Heat palette. I got it before Black Friday, so it wasn't on sale, and then I found out it was going to be on sale on Black Friday, and So I was just like, ugh, whatever. But I've been using it, really like it. Again, I love these little petite palettes from them. I think they're so nice. You have your nice everyday, you're going to use this all over the lid, transition, your crease, your outer corner, and then you have these two nice shades for the lid, or you can use those in the crease or whatever. Build nice looks with this palette, and so I think it's really pretty. If you like warm tones, if you like mattes, that's a nice little one to have to build your collection around. I didn't have a lot of warm mattes, so that was nice to add to my collection. I have this CoverGirl True Naked Chocoholic palette. This is very deep, dark, rosy over on this end, and then there's some green on this end. I think it's a really pretty take on the chocolate bar palette. It smells like chocolate. It's very nice. It's really nice for a neutral palette at the drugstore. I know sometimes drugstore eyeshadow palettes are hit or miss. This one was really nice. It is pretty powdery, but the quality of the shadows on the eyes is very, 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 very pretty. I came up with a lot of really nice looks from that palette. So let's get back into some lips here. Oh, first of all, I do want to show you, this was not my favorite mascara. This is the Flourish by Lash Blast from CoverGirl, and this is supposed to be infused with coconut or something like that. This is the kind of brush it is. It's one of those plastic brushes, and I don't really like those as much for my lashes. So that was kind of a fail for me. I wasn't a huge fan of that mascara, but I was glad to have tried it because now I know that I don't like it. Okay, so getting back into lips, I have this CoverGirl Oh Sugar lip balm in caramel. It looks like this, and then on the skin, it has a nice little bit of pigment, but it's mostly just kind of like a moisturizing balm. That's right here. I think it's really pretty for every day, just to throw in your bag and go. It's very nourishing. Then I have a liquid lip from them. This is a Melting Pout Matte in the shade Champagne Showers. It looks like this. I think this is a really nice formula. It's not super drying. It's right here. It's that caramel kind of nude. Not super drying. Stays all day on the lips. Very, very pretty. Then I have this Outlast. Let me see. I bought two of them by accident. Outlast All Day Lip Color in the shade Forever Fawn. So it looks like this. It comes in a little box. You have your liquid lip, and then you have your top coat, which is just like a clear balm. And I really like this. I remember using these way back in the day. These were around before liquid lips started, so it's a nice pinky nude, and I really love it. I went back to using my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Conspiracy. This is also a nice one for using with deeper browns. As you can see right here, it is pretty deep. You could get away with using it with burgundy lips or dark brown lips, but it's a really nice one to have in your collection. And then I have this Katy Perry, what are these called? Katy Perry, I think they're Katy Cat Matte lipsticks in the shade Couture. And it looks like this. And it's like a berry, like brown maybe? I don't know really what to call that, like a berry mauve. It's very pretty. I liked the way it felt on the lips, and it was not too expensive. I like the way they look is just pretty sleek, and I like them. And then the last lip that I had in here was Triggered from Jeffree Star. This is part of his holiday collection, and I love this shade. It's like a blackened berry, burgundy. You can see there. So it can come off very brown, or it can come off very berry and burgundy. I love this. I felt like when I wore it, it just made me feel so like dark and mysterious, and I just really love that about a lip, how it can change your mood and your personality. And so I really enjoyed that formula. I really enjoyed that color, and just everything in his holiday collection I really, really liked. So let me take a break and I'll come back. All right, rounding out today's video, I have a few eyeshadow palettes and then we're out of here. So, one more face palette, this highlighter palette in the shade Radiance from Makeup Revolution. I showed the other color. This is, again, powders I was using all over my face just to add a nice little bit of shimmer. So I really like this one. The only one I wasn't using was this one, which is more of a bronzy shade, but I really love these powders. I think they're really nice. If you like the Hourglass powders, definitely give those a try. They're a much cheaper option for sure. I went back to using the Au Natural palette from Wet n Wild. This is a really nice palette. This is in the Bare Necessities one. I did have the Nude Awakenings one, but I got rid of that recently. If you saw my products I'm getting rid of video, you would have seen that. I really do like this. This is their kind of take on the Naked palette from Urban Decay, but I think the quality is there. There's a lot of nice colors, a lot of shades, a lot of different mattes and shimmers, and I just really like this palette, and I'm going to continue to keep this in my collection at this time because I'm really enjoying it. Went back to using my Modern Renaissance palette from whatever that company, Anastasia. I cannot use the red shades in here, the more pink shades, so these ones right here, because they do irritate my eyes. So I use the more neutral shades over here, the dark browns, the orange even I can use. But I really like this. Vermeer and Primavera, these two shades right here, these are my absolute favorite shades. They're very shimmery, very pretty. I'm sure you've heard about this from like everyone on YouTube. It's a great little palette. I love it. Then I went back to using my Lorac Pro 2. I enjoy this palette. There's not a lot of cool tone shadow palettes on the market right now. We're very much into the pinky tones and the warm tones and the rose golds, but this is a really nice cool tone one. I went back to using it, loved the colors that I used and how they turned out on my eyes, and so I'm going to continue to keep that in my collection. I also got rid of a couple Lorac products. If you haven't seen that products I'm getting rid of, you might want to check that out because it was an interesting video. And then another Lorac Pro palette. This is the Mega Pro 3. And this is a very neutral palette. I like this because there's so much neutral. Neutral is my home. Neutral is where I feel comfortable. There's some deeper shades over here, but just pretty much any color you could ever need to start a look, have a basic look. It's all in here. So I really love this Mega Pro 3. It was probably my favorite Mega Pro palette so far. And then the last product I have is the Blood Sugar palette, which is what I have on my eyes today. Really enjoyed this. I didn't know if I'd be able to wear the red shades, but I've had no issues with the reds at all in this palette, so that's great. I have this shade all over my lids. I have this one down here on my outer corner, and then I use some shades from another palette to round out the look, but I really enjoy this. It's neutral, it's red, it's got some purples, it's really fun. I've enjoyed using it a lot, so I'm glad I purchased that. And Jeffree Starman, he's doing something different in the makeup world. There's a lot of the same looks coming out over and over and over again, and I constantly look to the indie brands to find something different because that's where I'm seeing a lot of creativity. So the Blood Sugar palette I was glad to purchase. I used a couple other palettes from him recently, as you've seen in my other videos, and really enjoying those as well. So that's where this video is going to end for today, guys. I know it was a long one, but thank you for staying with me and seeing what I've been using in the past probably 3 or 4 weeks now. I'd say it's a month. So thanks for sticking around and seeing what I really was enjoying, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.